Hi, this is Tim Difford from timdifford.com. I did a Pecha talk last night for the first time. It's quite good fun, and that was at the Huddersfield Media Centre. Pecha, for those that don't know, is a presentation style which limits you to 20 slides and 20 seconds per slide. And so it sort of forces you to focus and keep to the point and not bore people to death with PowerPoint. So, 6 speakers last night. I chose to spoke on Instagram, and asked the question, is Instagram the Comic Sans of photography? So I thought I'd run through the points that I made at the Pecha for the blog and attach the slides through SlideShare as well. The slides were simply a number of images that I'd taken using Instagram. You may have seen them before if you follow me on Twitter, and you've seen them attached to tweets that automatically pump out from the app when it goes. So anyhow, I explained what Instagram was. An iPhone app, one in development for Android, super popular, got millions of users in a very, very rapid space of time. And certainly not the only iPhone camera app out there that enables you to create these really nice-looking, nostalgic kind of square frame photographs from photos that are already in your photo library or that you can take with the camera. And however, the phrase, is it the Comic Sans of photography, was something that I saw blogger and tweeter Steve Lawson, solo-based Steve, on Twitter, saying more about Hipstamatic than Instagram. And Hipstamatic, similar application, been around a bit longer, been very successful, beginning to monetize it by selling these sort of nice coloured and stylistic filters that you can buy, and they do it through selling, pretend lenses and pretend different types of films and whatever. It's quite nice, but perhaps a little contrived. And I think the point that was trying to be made around comparing it to the world's least favourite font, Comic Sans, is that these kind of photographs are becoming a little bit ubiquitous. You see them everywhere on everything, and it almost feels like a little bit of a dumbing down of photography. But nonetheless, there is an ability now for everyone who's lucky enough to have a smartphone, and in this case with Instagram and iPhone right now, because that's the only place where you can use the app until they develop it for other platforms. It gives people the opportunity to create photographs in a much different way than they've done before. So photo sharing is far from new. Flickr's been around for years, Picasa also. Facebook's the world's largest photo sharing platform, but most of the photos on Facebook are pictures of people on a holiday or in family groups or parties or whatever. Quite a different style. And what Instagram does is it forces people, or not forces people, but enables people to see things in a different way. And you see conversations happening on Twitter. I do in my timeline. People saying, yeah, I have actually pulled over the car because I've seen something and thought that'd be a good photograph for Instagram. So there is something about it that makes it special, and I think it's the fact that it puts the social network first. Hipstamatic and many of the other great camera apps that are available for the iPhone, Camera Plus, others, they do have social sharing integrated into the app. So once you've created your app and you've tinkered with it and you've got it just how you like it, you can share it. You can set it up to share on Twitter and Facebook and Flickr quite often. But that's often almost an afterthought. And I think the thing about Instagram is it's so simple and easy. There's a limited number of filters available. They are adding one or two more from time to time, and who knows, they might add further ones in the future that you can pay for. But for now, they all come with the app. There's a limited range of those, but it's very quick. You grab your photograph or you snap your photograph, you apply the filter, and then press send, and that will send it to whichever of the social networks you've configured. So then it all goes at the same time to Twitter, to Facebook, to Flickr, to Posterous, and even to Foursquare, one of the location check-in apps. So it really does put the social network or the social networking aspect first, which is pretty neat. The other thing it does is it enables you to build a social network within Instagram itself. Now, I wasn't too sure about that when I got the app in the first instance, because it felt a little bit like the social networks that you can build in location check-in apps like Foursquare and Goala. to me, a little bit pointless. You can build them, but because you can very easily share your location and what you're doing on either Goala or Foursquare, or indeed some of the others, with Facebook and Twitter, it almost seemed, well, I've spent an awful lot of time developing a network in Twitter and Facebook, that it seemed a little bit unnecessary, really, to have a separate Foursquare network and a separate Goala network, and maybe a reason for me will emerge over time there, but I felt the same way about Instagram. I thought, I don't really want to spend a great deal of time cultivating a large network within Instagram when I'm already sharing it with the people that follow me on Twitter and are friends on Facebook and indeed on Flickr and the like. But then, actually, I began to realise that there is something quite nice about developing I've developed a fairly small and perfectly formed network within Instagram. And it's quite a pleasure to follow the timeline that creates, because the timeline runs in the same way as Twitter. You get the most recent Instagram picture first. It's very, very much about the image. You can give it a little title, and if you're looking at other people's images in your title, you can like them. There's a like button, and you can comment on them if you wish, and there is a little bit of commenting there, but it's very much about the pictures. It's much less about the comments, so works in a similar way to Twitter, but you've certainly not got the observations, links, pithy comments, news, or whatever it might be that you like about Twitter. But it does have a charisma of its own. So I think that's very clever, and it is worthwhile cultivating a modest network at the very least. Some people are gaming it, and by gaming it I mean like people game Twitter, mass following lots of people to get followers back and then unfollowing them to rack up lots of numbers. Why? Well, lots of followers means you might get lots of likes for your pictures, and they might end up on the most popular board for Instagram. And there's been a little bit of controversy, I say a little bit, it probably is a fairly modest amount of controversy, but some discussion at the very least about what sort of photographs should be allowed on the most popular board at Instagram, because there's been some concern, rightly, that people have been stealing copyright images from on the web and filtering them through, applying a filter to them on Instagram, and ending up, because they're great photographs in the first place, on the most popular board. You don't win any prizes, but there's a feeling that some people have been doing that for the glory. I don't know whether that's true or not, but the conversation extended out into, well, should people be allowed to take a photograph in another app, or indeed on another camera, but they take it themselves, and then edit it in Instagram and upload it? Now, I'm in favour of that, and I've done that myself. If it's my work, and I've taken the photograph and tinkered with it in another app, or taken it on another camera and transferred it to my iPhone, then I'm quite content to share that, because it's mine. But I'd be interested to hear what your thoughts are on that. I wrote a blog post on it a few weeks ago. There's a little bit more around those themes there. There was a good post from Lawrence on the Next Web about it too, which I'll put a link to under here. But in short, I would advise you, if you've not got it and you're lucky enough to have an iPhone and you've not got Instagram, it's free. Give it a try. It's a bit different. It won't be popular forever. It's the thing right now. Actually, probably the thing in November and December when it was really going hockey sticks. Quora has probably taken on since then, but that's another blog for another day. Enjoy Instagram. I'm Tim Difford. Hope you found this interesting. Cheers.